crazy days at the hospital.
Oh, this probably tastes great.
You know why this 2 o'clock coffee in this wonderful glass still tastes delicious? It
Because
has
it's the coffee of a champion.
it is the coffee of a back-to-back champion.
See, I enjoy when I travel back to the wonderful town of Athens, Georgia, and I go by Jittery Joe's. They want to sponsor this podcast. I hope they're listening. Yeah, local coffee shop there, and yeah, they did the back-to-back national champion special edition coffee that I paid way too much for just to have the
I was gonna
can to sit
say,
in my.
was that the 6507 coffee can?
I think because they did a couple different ones, and so anytime I like travel there for wrestling shows or just pleasure, it's like, well, I'm going to buy Doritos, and I'm gonna spend way too much on just local coffee. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
I've got two. They've got the UGA like Attack the Day one, and yeah, then there was the very special,
yeah. I only
back to
want
back
them for
national
the
champions.
cans. I don't. I would buy the empty can. That would be fine. I could put it with my other plethora of overpriced Georgia
Well,
merchandise that I have.
next time I get more coffee from Jittery Joe's, we'll work out a deal because
Yeah,
I've got all the cans I need. I just like actually enjoy the coffee.
yeah. The one that I want the most though is the championship ones, and then the attack the day, because I feel like the attack the day would be good for all the time. But annoyingly, I saw that they are not all like light roast or medium blend coffees. It seems like they put dark roasts in those things,
See,
which,
I prefer dark roast. I like the taste better.
well, if I'm thinking you want to attack the day, you want to go after it, you'd want the lightest roast to get the most caffeine in there. Attack the day. That's just me. That's what I
But
thought.
maybe I just want to level out throughout the day to attack it. It's like keep getting more cups. So it's a very level-minded attack. It's you're trying to front load your attack. I want to make sure I'm attacking for like a full 8 to 12 hour day.
Yeah, that's a different kind of day. Um, but that's also, I get coffee multiple times in a day, so I don't know. The 2 o'clock coffee, why it's still delicious in this glass, is not only because it's back to back, but it's because it's also a stainless steel glass, so it keeps it warm the entire time.
I thought it
It's
was the
still warm.
whiskey, but
Sometimes it is, but this time it's not. It is, oddly enough, it's a 20-ounce glass, and I probably put 3 ounces of a dark roast iced coffee in here, and then fill it up the rest of the way with the hot coffee, so that way it ends up being a decent enough temperature so I can continue to sip it. Otherwise, it was too hot, because I did that one time and burning my mouth the whole day. It's not good.
yeah, see, I either want it scalding or ice cold. There's no in between.
Oh, so
And then if it's scalding, it doesn't matter what the coffee tastes like because you have no taste buds left, so you're set.
rent. But let's say your taste buds are still functioning. If you got a cold brew coffee is going to be less acidic, but will have more of what in it than a hot coffee.
Ooh, I actually don't know the answer to that.
So, two things. It'll have typically more caffeine in it because it's not extracted from the heat process, but it will also have more fat in it because of the oil that comes off of there.
And what kind of oil comes off of there?
That is a seed oil.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I've
ah,
heard and read
ah.
so many bad. You just rechanged my way of thinking. I'm not drinking any more coffee ever because TikTok and Snapchat and whatever the kids are using now told me the seed oils are evil and they're going to kill me tomorrow. Or they probably killed me yesterday. They're so bad. I don't know.
Yes, I'm slowly developing long-term chronic conditions while I continue to enjoy the seed oils of coffee.
Yeah, there's apparently it's like so much inflammation in my body and all this bad stuff from the seed oils.
Right. It has nothing to do with any of my other chronic conditions or the amount of alcohol I consume, the amount of work that I put my body through. None of that, or stress, external, internal. None of that has anything to do with the inflammation in my body. It's just the seed oils that I
Makes sense. All right, cool. That was a quick podcast. So catch us next
consume.
week.
Yeah. But
No,
the
I feel like for the video one for this, like we really should be just like whatever. Overanalyze.
sensationalizing.
Yeah, there we go. Boom. I don't talk so good sometimes. But no, like I always love like the videos. There's never any like level-headed video I feel that's like seed oils are bad and here's why. It's always like somebody like in a grocery store or something holding up like a bottle of like seed oil, like this is evil. You shouldn't drink this.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at everything that's in here. And that says grapeseed oil. You know, it's which grapeseed oil really good for your cast iron. Outside of that, though, I probably would consume grapeseed oil because I use canola oil.
Oh no, I've heard that's really bad.
Yeah, there's. This is where it comes down to. This is where the frustration of this topic comes for me. There are a lot of people that have a different acronym than mine after their name, which mine is RD, registered dietitian, after their name, that are purporting that all of these things out there, if you consume any of them, they're going to kill you. And then at the same time, they're saying you should consume more, insert random thing that will have its own similar negative side effects if you overconsume it, like they just listed for the seed oil.
Wait, so you're telling me moderation's key to anything?
Moderation is key to everything.
It's
It
weird. I
is
didn't know that.
it is the frustrating part for me. Where, for example, I had a patient today tell me that they were not diabetic because they didn't consume a lot of sugar. I said, your A1C is over 7, so that would say that you are diabetic, no matter what amount of sugar that you're consuming. In the same vein, that if you tell me that I only eat meat so I don't have any problems at all, I might be able to say, well, I can see that you had multiple heart casts today from the excessive amount of saturated fat that you've consumed off of the meat that you just ate. So pick and choose it. The thing with seed oils, there is plenty of studies, and I'll link a few of them in the show notes for anybody that's really interested, that will show you the benefits of consuming seed oils over their saturated, solid at room temperature fat counterparts. If we're looking at the Mediterranean diet, which is always held as the best diet for you, all the studies and reflecting that, the essential pieces of that are fish, so an unsaturated fat source of meat, lean chicken, so like chicken breast, no skin, olive oil, which is a seed oil, and fruits and vegetables. Those are the biggest things that come out of the diet that are show all the benefits come from. So the main sources of fat in that are seed oils and the fat off of fish, which are just unsaturated fat.
And I love the Mediterranean diet because, like you said, there's so many studies out there that show all the benefits of it. And to me, it's the simplest approach. I can eat various fish and chicken prepared a number of different ways. I can eat fruits. I can eat veggies. I can, eat my healthy fats, and I'm set. It's not like it's this crazy thing I have to go out of my way for. It's not keto or paleo or anything. It's not going to fit into my daily lifestyle. It's like, okay, like this is something I can go out to eat and not look like a crazy person having my meal prepped container with me. Go, no, 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 you guys, do you enjoy what you're eating? I have to have stuff up there.
Yeah, I don't think there's any one food outside of shark fin soup or one category of food that I would say that you can't have. You know, there's a way to make everything fit. Everything works. I say it all the time. Healthy is your relationship with food. It's not the food itself. When it comes to seed oils, the thing to be mindful about it, go back and listen to our Keep It Simple, Stupid, Fat episode. It still applies to the total percentage of your macro breakdown. So when you're looking at your total calories in a day, let's say you had 2,000 calories a day. That's what you're eating. Standard, you hear this number all the time, 2,000 calories a day. If you kept your fat to 20% of that calories or less, you would be fine. What that looks like is 400 calories from fat if it's a 2,000 calorie diet. If we break that down further, I'll give you guys the specific number. If it was 400 calories, that would be about 44 grams of fat in a day. So here's where it gets hard for people that live in America and you're consuming a lot of different foods. Most people are going to consume somewhere between 45 and 60 grams of fat in a day. So if you are consuming 60 grams of fat in a day and your calorie limit that you're limiting to yourself to is 2,000 calories, you've now exceeded the recommendation for the amount of fat grams and calories from fat in a day. However, let's say you are consuming 60 grams of fat in a day. So that's 540 calories from fat. So 540. So you're around 2,400 calories in a day. So if you got that much in a day, 40 divided by 2,400, you're right at 22% of your calories coming from fat. So you're still going to be okay. But that's where the little nuance comes, sliding back and forth there. If it was over 25%, you're more likely to create cardiovascular disease for yourself. But if you keep it to that lower than 25%, you're more likely to not. So there's an ebb and a flow for everyone that's out there when it comes to the amount of fat that you can consume. And when it comes to seed oils, there is kind of a hierarchy that you'll often hear out of there. And where the hard part with the seed oils comes in is typically it's smoke point for a lot of people. Like if you're cooking with it, that's where it gets really hard. And that's kind of where it gets a little bit more negative for you because you're changing the structure of that fat by heating it up. So if I had to say, when I type in what seed oils, the first question that shows up in Google is what seed oils are bad for you.
Yep.
And then the second question is what seed oils are good for you. So the funny thing with these two lists, when I pull them up really quickly, because I have them on two separate windows, is that they look almost exactly the same. So it just depends on what source you're getting your information from. But if you are cooking with things, you want to use something that has a high smoke point, so that way it doesn't denature, start moving around the chemical structure of the fat. So that's why I use canola oil, because we use it to cook with a lot. If you're using it for something to like make a salad dressing or something with, you want to use olive oil. You don't have to necessarily get extra virgin olive oil, but it's extra virgin olive oil has a really low smoke point. So if you get it hot, it can start smoking up your kitchen real fast. So that would be my pository statement on seed oils. It all depends on if you're cooking with it or not. But when it comes to seed oils, the thing that I think is important with it is the function that fat has for your brain health and your heart health. And specifically, seed oils have the higher amounts of monounsaturated fats, such as extra virgin olive oil has the highest amount of monounsaturated fat. That specifically is going to help lower your quote unquote bad cholesterol. So that's where it starts helping your heart health. And it also helps that helping your heart health intuitively helps with your brain health and the function of your brain. And there is a small amount of research that out there that supports it might have a potential protective effect against Alzheimer's disease. So, Ken, if you're really worried about, how to incorporate seed oils into your life, how to start utilizing these things, head on over to franchisenf.com and sign up for your free meet and greet today. We'll talk with you about all the nutrition things to help get these things together. But Matt, for you, how do you use seed oils in your day?
I love a little bit of olive oil for cooking. Like you said, like a little extra virgin olive oil makes me happy. A little bit of oil and vinegar on a salad. Those are kind of my main go-tos with that. How about you?
So, like I said before, we use canola oil a lot because we use it in cooking. So we don't in our um, we have a little oil thing next to our stovetop. It has olive oil, not extra virgin, but regular olive oil in it. So it has a little bit higher smoke point than EVOO, but not as high as canola. So I'll use olive oil more so, and I use it for basically everything that a fat is used for, except for if we're baking a cake or something, I might use canola oil instead. But either way, if we're making chicken or some other kind of really lean meat, like uh, pork tenderloin or top sirloin or something, and you're making some kind of marinade, the part where it switches from a dry rub, quote unquote, to a marinade is the liquid that's in there, and utilizing that as the fat source for the liquid, it really helps out. So that plus a small amount of something that's acidic, like lemon juice and lime juice, to help kind of tenderize the meat along with the seasonings that's in there. We do that all the time. Like if you came to our house, you watch us during our meal prep time, chicken breasts in one bag, chicken breasts in another bag, mixture of seasonings, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of lemon or lime juice, close it up, shake it up, boom, that's 2 meals right there. Um, that is the most common use of oil in our house. And like I said, we use cast iron, and so we use canola oil for the seasoning, to rub around, something like that. So it's always in hand. But if you come to our house, you'll find the giant bottles of olive oil in a small bottle of canola oil because we use olive oil so much. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I don't use cast iron for the reason you just said. I don't want to have to constantly have to take care of it. I'm
and
lazy.
I was gonna say it's a small step for a great flavor, but it is additional work, and it's always best to clean it really close to when you're using it. And you can use soap and water. You just got to be careful you don't want to scrape all the seasoning off. Right? So either way, if you're out there listening to this podcast and you want to know more about incorporating seed oils into your nutrition plan to help you out with your nutrition and fitness goals, sign up for your free meet and greet today at franchisenf.com. Like we say every week, maximize every bite,
Maximize every rep.